Yeah.
We here.
Yeah.
We here, everybody.
I'm not sure why they haven't canceled us yet, but hey, listen, we're gonna keep going.
Hey,
Ride this thing till the wheels fall off. Let's go.
we in here, man. We in here, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see y'all. Hope you had a great July 4th. Myself, man, I'm still fighting a never-ending hangover, but that's a story for another day. Welcome to Crypto Money Movers. This is 0 Day Plus 2, and I'm your host tonight, Crypto Bam, aka Big Bam in the building. And as always, fellas, we're going to go around the chain, say what's up to the people, kick it off in Roxel.
Y'all already know who it is.
The boy.
Who this? The boy in Roxel.
Let's
Your
get it.
neighborhood crypto skeptic, aka get rich or die investing, aka middle-aged multi, aka going through that midlife priceless. Let's go.
I like it. I love it.
Hey, Crypto Knight, say what's up. Oh, Crypto Main,
Crypto man.
Batman.
How dare you call me Kryptonite? I am Kryptonite.
Hey, don't hate, boy. Don't hate.
So, superhero. I'm just here for the people, to protect them, to watch them, to learn with them, to show them what we're doing.
Let's go.
Crypto Murph, Crypto God.
Listen, man. Listen, Linda. I just came from partying all weekend. I'm just, I made it. It's good to be here with you guys. Follow us. Make sure you subscribe. We're dropping knowledge. We're talking about a whole bunch of coins. We're talking about how to keep making money. I spent some cryptocurrencies where I was at just now. I spent a lot of that. I'm gonna just put it on there, but that's it.
What's up, good people? It's your boy Crypto Murph. We back at it again. Can't wait to jump into these charts with y'all. It's been a fun July 4th weekend. The market has been all over the place, really a whole bunch of nothing, but we're going to break it down and give you what we got. And we got a project we're going to look at too. I think you guys are going to really get a kick out of this one because we're going to go somewhere with it. But like I always say,
Okay.
show me the charts. I'll tell you the news, baby. Let's get
it done.
Crypto Knight.
What's up, everyone? It's Crypto Knight. Kryptonite, the only known weakness to Superman. And as it pertains to this, Superman is your almighty dollar. But also understand I'm the knight, the protector of your crypto wallet. And today we're going to engage with you, and we're going to engage with each other and try to navigate this crazy crypto world. So let's get it.
And guys, I just want to say thank y'all for being here. Fellas, my boys, man, I know everybody had a long weekend. To those of you watching, like, subscribe, welcome to our community. You can see, man, we're really about this, man. It's the 4th of July weekend, and we made sure to come tap in with you.
It wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy, man. It wasn't easy, but we're here.
We are here.
For those of you who may be tuning in for the first time, Crypto Money Movers, we're here to talk about cryptocurrency. Engage. The future is now. So let's kick us off. Crypto God, if you will, what exactly briefly is cryptocurrency? Let's just touch that real quick.
So cryptocurrency is just money, right? So I told you guys where I was at just now was spending crypto. It's just money. It's money that you spend, just every day. It's just in a different form, right? It's in a digital form, and it's the form that the universe, I'm not even going to say the word, the universe is adapting to it right now. It's going to be the standard. It's going to be the norm. So get into it, now, so you can have a head start against everybody else that's trying to get into it later. You're gonna make a whole bunch of more money now if you get into it now. But it's regular money. It's essentially money that increases in value the longer you keep it, or you can have short-term gains and jump in and jump out. You can't, you put $5 in your wallet, you wake up, tomorrow, next month, 3 months, 4 months, a year, 5 years from now, it's still $5. If you put $5 worth of crypto in your wallet, it might, increase in value tomorrow. Okay, it might increase in value the next day, 3 months, 4 years from now. It's going to increase in value. So you have more money without even doing anything, just because you have your money in cryptocurrency versus having it in cash. But the exact same things you can do with cash, you can do with cryptocurrency. It's just a much better way to transact business. It's a whole bunch. I mean, it's a lot. It's very involved. So just keep keep following us, keep tuning in. It's going to be very confusing at first, but I learned it, so definitely you can as well.
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, what you got to understand in the crypto space, you got a bunch of different cryptocurrencies, right? So it's no different than saying you've got the peso in this country, you've got the US dollar in this country, you got the franc or the euro, right? Yeah. So you've got a ton of different cryptocurrencies. You've got your stable coins, right? You've got your USDC, you've got your USDT, that's Tether, right? You've got your mainstream, and a lot of y'all probably heard of the normal ones, right? Bitcoin. In the news every day, Bitcoin. You'll hear about XRP. You'll hear about Cardano, Ondo, some of these other ones, right? But what we want to do, and fellas, I really want to break this down for people. Meme coins, right? Most people have heard of meme coins if they know nothing about crypto. And meme coins can be the money that grows, but meme coins can also wipe your ass out, including your bank account, right?
Amen.
So why don't we take it around the horn here? Yo, shout out to that Mandy. Don't worry. That name is not allowed. That name is not allowed.
Right.
So let's do this. Vin Roxel, the crypto skeptic. Let's go to you. Newer to crypto equities guy. Let's talk about meme coins. What is a meme coin?
So a meme coin is going to be a coin that doesn't have a utility. You're talking about a coin that can be made up just meme coins that have the craziest names imaginable. I made a joke about a coin called Mandy coin because somebody named a coin after their girlfriend. Just like your girlfriend will have to leave you. Yeah.
She ran them up and ran them down. Ran them up and ran them down.
Pulled, and it left everybody high and dry.
I can't.
Everybody's been in that experience. So I'm like, hey, that Mandy coin, you got to watch yourself. That's a meme coin. A meme coin has no utility. Somebody creates it, and then people buy into the project, and it goes up based upon people wanting to buy in. And sometimes if you're not watching crypto money movers, people say, hey, they're gonna pull out that project. And when they do, you lose your money. So we're here with the crypto main superheroes and the crypto knights to make sure we protect your money from that kind of stuff.
So let me, Crypto Murph, let me ask you this, because you've been in the space the longest, right? Mm-hmm. With these memes, and we see people name them after their cat. One I have, which I'm very in love with, dog with hat. The most random stuff. We got Pepe Le Frog, right?
Hey, I've eaten on some dog with, man. I'm playing.
Oh yeah. What?
Hey,
you don't mean.
So Murph, what with these memes, man?
Yep.
How do you go about looking at a meme, right? Do you just buy the hype like a lot of folks did with Doge? I've been holding my Doge for 4 years and still haven't broke even, right?
Right.
How do you look at a meme coin?
So typically speaking, guys, a lot of the meme coins that I would even consider are still going to be listed on your centralized exchanges, because I'm not going to be advocating nor recommending that people buy anything that you have to jump into the decentralized space and purchase, largely because your probability for getting your money taken is very, very high. And I just don't think it's worth the risk right now, because memes go up and memes fall down. One of the things I like to look at is, okay, what is the narrative? It's in the meme space, but what is actually the community? How big is the community? How large is their engagement? How active is their engagement? And, kind of how widespread is what they're doing in that specific space. So it's a lot of these memes are just silly, novelty coins that people play off of, but they're so cheap that people get excited about it because they figure, well, look, even if I just throw $300 or $400 at it, if it goes down, I didn't really lose that much. But if it, goes 10, 20x, I just, made $4 or $5 grand on $300, $400. So it has a lot of appeal, if you will, for the sense of it has a ton of upside. The challenge with it is there's so many of them and anyone can make them. So you don't really have a lot of confidence in the ones you're picking. So to help at least build a little bit of security, you want to pick ones that are on your centralized exchanges, because those still, once again, have been vetted and they're going to be backed by your centralized exchanges like Coinbase, Crypto.com, Kraken, all the big players. So, you want to make sure you have a level of, I guess, discipline to some degree if you can with the meme space. But, just look at the silly things that people are talking about a lot. and watch them for a while. Don't go aping in them the first time you hear about them. Watch them. You can always look at the charts. The charts will always tell you, what price action has a highest probability of doing, and you make your decision from there. But your money, your decision. Do what makes you happy. Make sure you take your time and you do your full investigation when you jump into the meme space for sure.
And
if you wouldn't mind, Crypto Bam, I'll jump in there for a second.
Yep.
Yeah, there's an alarm going off, people. Be careful.
Be
Crypto
careful.
man, your crypto superhero has to jump in. Be careful with the meme coins, people. Do not lose all of your money by aping in. Aping in means putting all your money in. Don't do it. Be careful. I have to warn you. These are experts you're listening to, but be careful. Do not waste all your money jumping in with a meme coin unless you do your homework. I'm out.
I was so distracted by the alarm. I started looking behind. Hey, look. Hey, we appreciate you, Crypto Man. Crypto superhero. You're always here to save us. But just to help you guys break down, they said it's utility. What does utility mean? So utility means that a project is based on a product or service. So if a coin has utility, it has based on a product or service. If a coin is not based on a product or service, or it doesn't have a business behind it, and it's just like coin that's put out like randomly, like can coin, and that company associated with this product, associated with can coin, doesn't make cans, it's a meme coin because it's just based off the name of this can, right? And so just be mindful of that. I know everybody doesn't know what utility means, so I wanted to break down what utility means. Utility means if it's based on a service and or product, or it has a business associated with it, opposed to just the meme, i.e. associated with that project.
I would jump in.
Go ahead and wipe that beer up real quick.
Party foul.
The whole thing.
Wipe it up, bro. Wipe it up, bro.
For people who are just getting
Went over there right now.
for those who are just getting into cryptocurrency, I understand you probably don't know what a meme coin even is, or what is it. It's all cryptocurrency. What we're trying to do is separate utility coins from meme coins and the different narratives, but they're all cryptocurrency. They all are traded, and you need to do research on whether it's a meme coin, utility coin, or whatever. So we're just kind of trying to define the different types of coins, but they're all cryptocurrency. You can buy them, you can trade them, you can invest in them, and you can make money. But that's what it is. There's meme coins versus utility coins, but they're all cryptocurrency.
Well, and a lot of the memes are really community driven, right?
100%.
So you end up with hundreds of thousands of people across the planet who are like, yo, we are I got that dog in me. That's one of the memes I've been looking at, dog in me, right? And they pull together, man, and those things can run. I mean, we're going to look at some that have done 20,000% gain since they hit Coinbase, right? So you just got to be really careful, though. Here's a question: what memes are you guys looking at actively? What memes do you hold? And which ones are you looking at maybe getting in this bull cycle?
So I'll jump in. Let me jump in to give a little bit of color.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
To the whole meme thing. So just to give the audience some clarity, my very first purchases, the first 3 or 4 actually were meme coins when I got in crypto. I think I touched on it last week. Shiba Inu was the very, very first cryptocurrency I bought. And I think I mentioned also that, to date it's done over the period of time since I've had it for 6, 7, maybe even 8 years now. It's done about a 10 to 12x. And I've deployed some of those funds into other assets, other which have been memes. And, so meme coins have a ton of profitability, if you will. And the most common one would be Dogecoin. Everyone, I'm sure, has heard about the Dogecoin whole little saga. Dogecoin has zero utility. It's another example of a meme coin. It's the top 12 or 13 ranked meme coin with a very, very high market cap. So, don't hear the word meme and be petrified to the point where you're not open-minded. You want to still, keep these things on your radar. But I just wanted to kind of give some clarity there, so you don't get scared away from the meme sector at all. But Crypto God, go ahead and jump in.
You had
I didn't mean to cut you off.
something to chime in?
No, you can go ahead. I just wanted to kind of segue, but I think he kind of mentioned it, so we can go ahead.
Yeah, no, and the memes, a lot of the most popular memes, y'all, run on Solana, right? So if you want to really eat, for lack of better terms, off the meme coin space, but maybe you don't have the appetite for jumping into random Tonki and this and this and this, you can go buy Solana, because as long as memes do well, Solana is going to do well too, right? So there's a lot of different things you can look at. I will say that I am a big bag holder of Pepe. I've got a lot of dog with hat. I looked at Toshi. There are a number of, but I will say this, y'all. I was watching some video the other night, and there was a new meme coin called Thanal. Okay.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do
And
it.
Someone went and AI generated Thanos bunked over, and the coin is called
That's your
Thanal.
coin, man. That's your coin. You buying that?
Just
I am
admit
not
that
buying
you are
Thanos,
behind the joint, bro.
Listen,
I will not touch Thanos. Okay.
man, whole portfolio is Thanos and Haktua. Man, whole portfolio. Thanos and Haktua.
Hey, Jasmine is another good project that I've got a pretty big bag of. Crypto main. What about you? Any memes that you've got in your pot? Something you're looking at buying?
Man, I'm not done side-eyeing you for that.
Hey,
Look, when you look at the coins, especially on Coinbase, and you go to meme coins, it'll be the craziest names you've ever heard.
It really will.
And there's a million that come up every day. But be careful. Don't just pick one. Oh, that's a cool name. I'm about to put in $1,000 in that. Always do the homework. Even though it's not a utility coin, you can still see who is behind it. A lot of celebrities will put out a meme coin. And maybe you could ride it real quick with them, but you better get off that train quick because it's going to crash. So just pay attention to who's putting out the coin. Do they have backing? And like Max said, what is the community supporting them?
Yep.
If it's a person that has 400 million followers on something and they put out a coin, it's probably going to run for a second, but then it's going to crash because it probably doesn't have the economic foundation behind it. So just still be careful. You will not become overnight rich doing this. Be careful. Just learn crypto by watching this channel. Learn the basics like we're doing, like we're still doing, and then start making money. And we're not trying to do overnight success. We're trying to make you know crypto so you could be successful.
Well, I'll say this: Dog with has been one of my most successful meme coins. I've eaten from that joint like 4 times. Like, and when I say I've eaten of it, I mean I've taken profit like 4 times. So what happens is you invest into a coin, right, and it'll run up, and you have to take your investment out and just run up. You know, I don't want to get too involved. There's something called DCA, right? So every time something if the market crashes or whatever, you want to DCA into the coins that you have the most confidence in, which means you want to do your research and see what those coins have done in the last month or year and see what the low points are. If the crash puts that coin beneath where the lowest point was for a year, that's a good strategy to get into that and DCA down. Because it's going to go back up, right? Especially if it's one of the coins that are kind of popular, right? It's going to go back up. And now your average cost of that coin has gone down significantly, which means anytime it shoots up, you're going to get that much more profit. So once you take the profits out, you can still ride it again and it'll make some more money. So I've eaten off dog with like 4 times, right? And it's a good project to look at.
DCA in crypto is no different than DCA in equities. It's dollar cost averaging.
Right.
All you're doing is looking at your purchase price. When the price drops, you're going to try to jump back in and average out that dollar cost so that when it jumps up again, you're making more money upside.
Right.
So all this, you do the same thing when the stocks or the crypto is increasing. For me, I do a lot of stock trading. Dollar cost averaging. That's all it is consistently putting money in as the stock decreases or increases to make sure that you're getting the price you want, and then you continue to make that profit on the way up.
So basically,
added that.
So basically, what we're saying is the average of the cost where you bought in. Say, for example, you bought in at $1, You want, when it drops down to 95 cents, you might want to buy more. So your average cost per dollar will be maybe 96 cents, 97 cents. And so when it runs up, your return will be higher. So you DCA, the average dollar cost average, you want to come in as low as possible. So when it runs back up, you may obtain your highest interest or percentage based on what you bought in it.
And I want to pivot here, guys, because Crypto God said something that is super important. I myself have been a victim of having eyes wider than your appetite, right? But what Crypto God said is take profit. And I want to talk about that, right? Because if you go, for those of you who use Coinbase, right? And this, again, like, subscribe, tune in weekly. On Coinbase, you can go to the Explore tab and you can look at your top gainers, your top losers across Coinbase. Yep. And what you will see a lot, like even a dry weekend like this, right? Yep. Some of your biggest gainers are meme coins, right? Yeah. So what some people do is they go look at this Explore tab and they want to jump into these memes that have already pumped. You want to get in before they land on this list, right? And if you see your coin on this list, you have to take profit. So Vinrock, so I want to go to you, this concept of taking profit, because it's the same in stocks and equities as it is in crypto.
It is.
Tell our viewers, what does it mean to take profit, and why is taking profit a great idea?
Well, I can keep it brief, and you know that's difficult for me to do. I'm going to keep it brief here. In that, there's a saying that we have in equities trading, and that saying is, no one has ever lost money taking profits.
Right.
So when your stock or crypto runs up and you're like, hey, I've reached my percentage and I feel good about how much money I've made here, you just pull out, sell it, get your money, keep it moving. You may jump back in if it drops. You may put those profits into something else. But that's how you compound your money and you make multiples on your money. That's why this entire game, whether it's crypto or the stock market, is exponential, because you can pull money out whenever you want, throw it in something else. Now you're making money off of money that you've made. Then you do that again. Now you're making money off of money that you made off of money. What happens then is it becomes exponential.
100%.
You wonder why these people are making money and they're not working a 9 to 5 anymore. Well, they don't have to. They're making exponential money off of money. So that's what it is, taking profits.
I'll jump in for 1 second. Just and again, you equities guys can correct me if I'm wrong. You can sell your whole bag of crypto and jump right back in within 30 days, right? You can jump back in right away. You don't have to wait 30 days after you sell your whole bag to get back into crypto.
In crypto, you can jump in however you want.
Right. So the point of that is, if you invest money into something and it ran up, right, and you took out everything, let's say you closed the position, if the market crashed the next day or something like that, in equities, you're not going to be able to get right back into that project.
You can. You just got to pay a higher tax rate.
With crypto, you can get right back in immediately and get back into into profit mode because you bought at such a low rate. So that's another difference between crypto and equities.
And let me just clarify that. In equity, make sure I'm saying this, you can still jump in and out of stocks as much as you want. That tax burden will beat you over the head. So you need to make sure you're watching the way you're jumping in and out, and you're actually putting that into, or you're accounting for the tax burden with the trade, whether you're doing long term or short term. That's all.
Okay. And when it comes to
gains tax, that's it.
When it comes to taking profit, I've created a system for me, and I call it the rule of 10. I watch a project for 10 weeks. And once I watch that project for 10 weeks, I see where it's going up and down. And then in that situation, if I see it consistently goes up and down 10%, I'll invest in that project. And I'll put a round number in, say $1,000, $100 or whatever. And then once I reach 10% gain, I can take out my initial profit or I can take out my initial investment. So I can take out $1,000, leave $100 in it, and then that's all profit. Or I can just take out my profit of 10%, which is $100, and then I'll have that $100, and then still have the $1,000 still in there. And so at the end of the day, I'm not losing money, especially once I get to the point where I've made $1,000 on it, because I've seen, hey, in a 10-week time frame, I will be able to make my $1,000 back in 4 weeks, 3 weeks,
Mhm.
whatever it is, because I've watched this project. So you can do it one way or the other. You can take your profit out, or you can just take your whole initial investment out and just leave the profit in, the $100, and then that $100 is still going to make $10 here, $10 there. And so it just depends on what type of ideology you have when it comes to investing. But
Bingo.
with cryptocurrency, like I said, the rule of 10 works for me, because at the end of the day, if I watch this project for 10 weeks, I know how it moves. I know how it's done. And then I can say, you know what? I am pretty confident that this project is going to go up at least 10% within the next XYZ. And if it doesn't initially go within the time frame, even if you hold on to it, you know it's going to still go up because it's a consistent project. It's a consistent coin that you've invested in.
And I'm glad, Crypto Knight, that you explained your rule of 10, right? Because, and for the viewers, you just need to understand, you got to decide what works for you. That's the biggest thing that people miss is you can look at what other people do. So like Crypto Knight's rule of 10, me personally, I don't do that, right? That would not fit my trading in crypto strategy, but it works perfect for him. And he makes a lot of money doing it that way, right? Some people want to see a 100% return. So they want to double their money. Some people at 25%, some people 15%. Only you can decide that. We can't tell you. None of us can tell you what to do for you other than say this: do not become one of those people that see 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, 200% gain and it go back down to zero because you refuse to take profit. Crypto Murph, you always say, what was it? Pay the trader.
That's my slogan. I always, when anybody calls me and asks me, you know, should I get out? I'm up X, or I'm at this level. I bought in here. Should I get out? First thing I ask them is, do you work for free? The answer is usually no. So pay the trader. Simple as that. You know, you spent time, you did your homework, you were patient, you know, all the things that it required to be, you know, successful in this particular position. So make sure that you pay yourself. And not to mention this particular cycle, you know, based off, you know, a lot of popular opinion and a lot of the heavy guys in crypto, it's not going to be a set it and forget it cycle. So we're not thinking, okay, I can just put in, you know, $100. I see a 2x of my money and come back in 30 days and now I'm up 10x. You're going to see a lot of fluctuations when we even get in the midst of a bull cycle. I mean, you think you're going to see a lot of coins shoot up, shoot down. The market's pretty much already showing us that. That's been really the pattern so far. So, you know, to all the point with everyone on the panel, you know, if your protocol is 25%, 10%, whatever it is that fits your appetite, just make sure you have a strategy, one, and then two, you stick with it. Do not become emotions. Emotions are useless in trading. I promise you. You will lose your money if you involve your emotions in your decisions.
Hey, Crypto Main, in your experience, and I know at one point you looked at Trump coin. I remember we were having the call, and you were like, "Yo, how can I get on this? How can I get on this?
Why would you bring that up? This man's feelings is going to get hurt.
No, I heard about that.
Crypto Main, your experience, bro. Your experience of watching. Have you had coins and watched the gain go up, and then you didn't take profit and it goes away? What have you seen, man?
Crypto Main watches everything. He watches the Trump coin. He watches the dog whiff. He watches the fart coin. He watches all of it just to see what is going on in the ecosphere out there. Let me tell you how not to do it. Do not look at it. I'm gonna give all y'all out there a real world example. Say you're in Vegas. Say you're watching the blackjack tables. And you see somebody killing it on the table. Oh, he's making a ton of money. And someone's killing on that table. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to go jump in on that table. So you put a bunch of money on there and then you lose. You weren't watching the strategy he was using, how he was playing. He's been there forever, watching that table, watching that dealer, wanted another dealer to come on. You didn't watch the strategy that was going on. You tried to ride the heat. Don't get caught up in the heat, because by the time you see it on Instagram or Facebook or online, it's already probably at the tail end of the blow up.
Right.
You got to learn this stuff early and watch these coins as they're rising. When Trump coin was first announced, those people that jumped in super early, it blew up. because they
Mhm.
were watching and paying attention. It's not luck. That's the one thing. It's not luck. Pay attention to it or you just lose your money. So you just got to put in the homework, just like your regular job. Make it your other part-time job. I just told somebody, make crypto your part-time job. At night, stay up another hour or two just learning it, watching all the videos on YouTube about what the definitions are. They didn't use a bunch of terms. Y'all don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. You know, eating,
Right.
profit.
DCA, profit, means.
Ate on that. Those are terms that I was still learning. Like, what the heck is he talking about? I ate. Like, learning all that
DCA
stuff,
down.
it comes into your money, and money
Yeah.
matters, man. Money matters.
Well, and that actually leads us to a perfect transition point, right?
Yep.
Do your homework, learn these things, learn about DCA, and how do you get to the point where instead of being the one watching other people win and you come jump in and lose your money, how do you become that person that has that strategy? And that is why it's time for technical analysis.
What's up, good people? It's your boy Crypto Murph in the building, and boy, do we have a segment for you today. We've been going over, stable coins, fart coin, meme coins, this coin, that coin, and I think you're gonna find it very, very ironic that we're actually gonna be covering a meme coin today in our technical analysis segment. But before we jump in, as we always do, we come here to our landing page, CoinMarketCap, because it's where we come to do all our recon. If we're looking at any projects, we want to know what it is, what the market cap is, check their socials, check their audits, just to make sure that they're smart and safe and very secure plays, quite frankly. So I gave you some homework the last 2 weeks, and I hope if you didn't do your homework from last week, you're caught up now. So let's just recap there, but first, before we pull up the project that we're going to go over today. So the homework for the last 2 weeks was to, one, favorite the CoinMarketCap landing page, because that's what we're going to be referring to and going back to very consistently and every week. The second one was to sign up for TradingView Basic, which is free. So you should have those two completed. And then last week, we went over SEI as a coin. I said, just keep it on your radar. I said, make sure, don't go, aping into it, because we're going to see how price action was going to play out this week, especially being a holiday week. Usually price action is usually flat, and that's pretty much what we saw. But keep SEI on your radar. So if you've done all those things, then you're a good student. You're up to par. You already done your homework. So let's jump into, and then there was one last assignment also. I said to just Google search, take some time and introduce the indicator RSI. Look that up and do a little recon on that too. And RSI stands for Relative Strength Index. So this week's gem that we're looking at is, in fact, in the meme space. And I'm going to pull it up on CoinMarketCap first, so you can see that we're going to be very consistent and disciplined in our research. We're going to pull up Fart Coin. And as we mentioned already, guys, it leads us to none other than one of the craziest names you've probably heard in the crypto meme space, none other than Fart Coin. It is number 62 in the crypto space. It has a market cap of $1.16 billion, if you can imagine that. So just to kind of drive the point home that we've already been mentioning, this coin has zero utility. It doesn't solve any problems. It doesn't do anything. It's just that people around the world think it's funny. It's a novelty, and it's worth $1.16 billion market cap. Again, as we mentioned, also it's on Solana. It's built on the Solana blockchain. We can see that here. All your socials are here. Your audits are here. And then if you just want to know, again, about Fartcoin, you probably won't see a lot, because guess what? There's not a whole lot to really talk about. It just talks about your live data prices, but it's simply a meme coin that just is for shits and giggles, if you will. The market, all the places where you can purchase it. You can purchase it on Coinbase Exchange. You can get it on DEX, MEXC, Crypto.com. So pretty much all your centralized exchanges are going to have Fartcoin, which also gives you a level of security of knowing that you more than likely are not going to have to worry about any kind of rug pulls or any of those type of good things. So now let's go back and jump into our homework from last week, and let's pull up Fartcoin on the charts and see. And again, we're going to start with one of our largest time frames, and this is our 4-hour time frame on Fartcoin. And when I'm looking at this chart, the first thing that stands out, and I'm going to draw these lines, is this pattern. Pardon me. I'm going to take all the spaghetti off in a second here. Right here. Hold on. So actually, I'll end up leaving this on because I want to make sure you guys really get a chance to see the full scale of it. And never mind all the little other indicators that you may see here. The most important thing I want you to pay attention to is going to be this. This little blue line that looks to be in a bull flag. What this tells me is that Fartcoin, which is in the meme space, is getting what's called tight in the pattern. And this is a bull pattern. We're coming up into it. And typically speaking, these patterns have what's called a measured move. So we can see right now that Fartcoin is trading at about $1.17. We see we've had some ups and downs. We see this thing here that appears to be a rising wedge that has a measured move as well. But let's just see what this pattern that we drew, the measured move is. So if I was placing a bet on Fartcoin, and this is the measured move, I would be looking at Fartcoin potentially coming to about $1.47. Again, non-financial advice. This doesn't mean it's going to happen this way. It doesn't mean it has to happen. It doesn't mean any of those things. It just means that if the measured move plays out based off probability, which is, again, that's where we focus our attention here at Crypto Money Movers, is making smart trades. We don't guarantee, you can't promise anything, and no one else can either for that matter. But this is the measured move that I'm looking at specifically for Fartcoin. And it's performed exceptionally well over the last, I would say, probably month and a half, even with a lot of the ups and downs of Bitcoin and some of the more stable coins. Fartcoin has been very, very consistent. And if you think about the name, if you think about the majority of the players in cryptocurrency, they like little silly names like this. Fartcoin, Dog Whiff, as we mentioned. Other little silly names, for some reason, you'll find actually have a tendency sometimes to do exceptionally well. So that's my look for Fartcoin. But I want to, before I get back and kick it back over to the studio, I want to make sure that the RSI homework assignment I go over and touch over very, very quickly, because it's a very key indicator that is used when looking at when to get into these projects like Fartcoin. So if I'm looking at Fartcoin and I'm considering maybe getting in, you think, okay, well, do I jump in now? Do I wait till tomorrow? Do I wait till Wednesday? Well, how do you know that? Well, the RSI indicator, which again, I asked you to do a little bit of recon on last week, is one of the main players that tells us the direction of Fartcoin. So I'm going to pull the RSI up, and you give me a second. I'm going to close some of these out so you guys are not just overwhelmed with all this stuff. So give me one sec. Boom. Okay. Yeah, so I got everything I need here. Now let me pull back this up. So we're back here. I'm going to enlarge this. This is what's called our RSI. Now, the analogy I like to use for the RSI is I want you to think about the RSI like a energy tracker. And think about if you were running sprints, right? If you notice here, we have a 30 and we have a 70. So if the RSI is like our energy tracker and you're a sprinter and you start from the starting line right here at 30 and sprint as fast, as hard as you can to the top of this line, more than likely you're going to be tired. You're going to probably need to stop, walk a little bit. You're going to maybe need some water. You're just going to need to take a break because at that point you've probably exhausted yourself. Well, the same analogy holds here true in crypto. Once you see an asset that's shot up here, this is not the time we want to be buying our crypto. We won't want to be getting into the market when it's already tired and it's already pumped for us. So analogy that I'm going to use to show you when to get in it. So think about it like this. We started at 30, we shot up, or we're somewhere in the middle. We're still sprinting in the neutral area. Once we walk back to the finish line, now what? We're not tired anymore. We're rested. We're cooled off, and we're ready potentially for another what? Sprint to the top of the hill again. So think about the RSI from the standpoint of, okay, this is like climbing a hill. I don't want to be jumping in when we're already at the top of the hill. I want to be jumping in the race when we're about to start and when we're down here getting ready for this pump or the sprint to the top of the hill. So that's your RSI. I wanted to simplify it, make it real easy to follow. We're going to put some shorts out on some of these indicators too, just to kind of further these points so you guys can really get a grip of these things. But make sure that you tune in, like, subscribe, comment, guys, because these indicators all help us in making our decisions as to when and what projects we choose here at Crypto Money Movers. And I want to make sure you have the absolute best entry for the projects you're looking at too. So until next week, I'm going to kick it back over to the studio. It's your boy Crypto Murph, and like I always say, show me the charts, and I'll tell you the news.
Hey man, I got one thing to say to that, man. One thing to say to that, man. His name on YouTube is Crypto Murph, but his mama named him Crypto Goat.
And goats eat. If you in the country, you know goats eat. Goats eat a lot.
Baby.
Goats eat a lot. Hey, Crypto Murph, I just want to ask you before we go to the next segment, the RSI, these indicators, right? We talked about TradingView as a platform. You can get the account for free and you can play with it. You don't have to go get the crazy paid version where you have like a million indicators on.
Correct.
You can start with just the RSI. That's what I use. You know, I'm nowhere near you. That RSI, a lot of these crypto guys, you'll watch other influencers, right?
Correct.
We don't view ourselves as influencers here. Again, we were a group of friends that had literally twice a week we met to talk about crypto, look at charts, etc., and decided to invite you to be a part of our family, right? But these influencers, a lot of them day trade and place quick trades, or they leverage trade, which means you put up $100, but you're doing it at 1,000% leverage. You're using other people's money, and they play that RSI indicator, and they do very well. But Crypto Murph, it doesn't always pan out, right? I think we need to make that clear that it helps you make an informed decision, but it doesn't. It's not. If it does this, it is absolutely 1,000% going to do Y.
Correct. So there are no absolutes in crypto, which is why the best traders in crypto use multiple indicators, and they'll trade charts and patterns in multiple time frames, because you're not trying to be perfect. You're just trying to have the highest chance and highest probability that your trade will play out. That is the key. There's no one in the world that can tell you what price action will be in the future. No one can. So what you want to do is use these indicators in the charts, because what they do is they take a moving average, if you will, historical data, and say, this is probably going to happen 75% of the time when you see this thing. And what you do is you take 3 or 4 different indicators and you lap them on top of each other and say, now my probability has increased to 85% chance that this move will play. So that's why you see people studying multiple indicators and overlapping them with, time frames and different things, because it's not to be cool on the TA charts. People pull up these TA charts and pardon my French, there's shit everywhere. And I'm looking at it like, and even someone who understands it, I'm like, that's way too much. The chart's too busy. It's lines everywhere. They drawing on the shit. It's patterns. They halfway pulling stuff off. I'm like, the charts are too active. And more importantly, for people like yourselves, the beginners, it's very discouraging. You look at that and like, I'm all set. I'm good. Some of the best traders I know will use one indicator and use a moving average, and literally will, beat everybody in the trading competition. They beat them consistently every time.
And our
Let
objective is to keep this on the novice level. And I know it doesn't sound like a novice level right now, but once you learn a little bit, you'll understand where he's coming from. I promise you'll make all the sense. So once you learn a little bit of the terminology and understand what we're doing, I promise you will understand what he's saying. There are other indicators, there are other ways to read these charts, but we're going to try to keep it as simple as possible. Again, we're on the novice level, so check us out.
You want to know what my indicator is? What Crypto Murph doing? What Crypto Murph doing?
Hey, that's the best indicator you can actually have, man.
It is the best.
I'll add something. I know a lot of people who are watching the channel, they're beginning to crypto and stuff like that. A lot of this stuff can be overwhelming, especially the terminology, right? You're going to learn to speak a whole different language once you learn this stuff. You will learn it so quickly. It's not. Yes, it sounds foreign right now, but you will learn it in a heartbeat once you start doing it, because it becomes second nature to you. So I want to ask you guys, if you're having questions about any of the stuff that we're talking about, right? If you're having, just ask the questions in the comments. We're going to respond to the questions if you ask them in the comments. We're going to define some of these terms for you, and we're going to try to make sure it's simplified, because I understand that sometimes when we're talking, it kind of goes over your head because we're just talking to each other and we're trying to keep it kind of novice, but sometimes we might lose that, because we don't know where people are in their crypto journeys. So just ask the questions, and we're going to try to respond to it as best we can. Another thing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going. This has been stuck in my head ever since TA section. Cryptocurrency is the only space where you can talk about fart coin, and then when someone uses a line for shits and giggles, it just is epic.
I didn't know you caught that one, Bam. I didn't know you caught that.
Let me just we had this point in the last show. I want to make sure people are understanding. You're going to see a lot of stuff about cryptocurrency because, again, it is the future. You can't get away from it. So you're going to be kind of drawn to someone who kind of appears to know what they're talking about, right? Because you don't, right? So anything they say, you take it as golden. You have to understand that some of these people are out here trying to just take your money, right? Because they'll come in, they'll use all these fancy words, and you'll say, okay, he knows what he's talking about. He's on a yacht. He obviously knows what he's doing, right? So what they're trying to do is try to get you to invest with them. And obviously, if they lose your money, they lose your money. There's nothing you can do about that. If you follow this channel, we vet everything that we're talking about. This is something that we do just before we became, this on this YouTube thing. We did it twice a week for about a year. We just do this every day. We do it. So when we're talking about this stuff, you're joining this conversation because we vet the information we're telling you. We're not going to tell you anything that just we're not trying to make any money off of you. Just understand that this is information that you can use to make money, right? So just follow, learn at your own pace, because all these things that we're talking about, the free tools, the coin market cap, the trader view, everything. These things are free, right? You can get on there, you can learn, you can track the coins, you can do your research. You don't have to pay somebody to do that for you. Come here, learn how to do it yourself, and do it yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be making this decision. And if you put your money in somebody else's hand and you don't know what you're doing, they can just take your money and you have no recourse.
Crypto God, let's repeat that again, y'all. We ain't making no investment group. We ain't telling you a coin to buy. We are filming for YouTube what we did twice a week. I wore a dumbass mask twice a week because I think it's funny as hell.
Yes, and we think it's funny.
We've been friends for 20 years, and we like making each other crack up. So I would wear a funny mask because I love superheroes. We are filming what we do. We are just talking about crypto because we need to learn crypto as a people. It's all of us. Everybody needs to learn it.
Yeah.
So
we aren't teaching you anything. We aren't telling you what to do. We're trying to teach you the basics of learning crypto. And we happen to have some people that know crypto better than a lot of the people out there. So they are teaching us while they're teaching you.
Right. And before we get into the craziest things, somebody did slide into the chat and they asked for some info on Sui, right? And I know we don't have time to break down charting on it, but I will say I'm involved.
Email. If they drop their email address, I'll chart Sui up and based off what I see, and I'll shoot them an image of it.
Okay. Yep. Put your email in the chat, and we'll get that to you. But I'll tell you, Sui is one of my largest bags. I think it's going to perform very well. I personally am looking at Sui going above $5 is my thought.
Sui has a very strong following.
I would say don't put your email in the chat because I think that's a public place. You can email us. You can go to the channel and email us. We'll respond there. We'll respond there.
No, we still learning. We still trying to figure it out.
Everybody got everybody's email anyway. So.
But of all coins, Bam and I talked about crypto. Bam and I talked about Sui. Literally last week we talked about buying into Sui.
Great call.
It's a legitimate coin.
Send a DM to the Instagram page. Don't put your email in that.
Absolutely.
Don't put your email in the chat.
Page. We have a Keep the Money Movers email.
Oh God.
Hey, go ahead, man.
Go to the IG and DM.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
Hey, let's touch this craziest thing in crypto real quick. All right, guys. So the craziest thing in crypto today, it's been a holiday weekend. Bonk. Let's talk about bonk. Okay. At one point today, a random holiday weekend, bonk was up over 25%.
Wow.
It's up over 50% on the week. If you look at all time, okay, all time, bonk is up 25,000%, which is freaking bananas to me, right?
You
And if-
explain, man, what that means if you put in a dollar
Dude.
what that
At
actually
bonk.
means.
at the peak, Venroxo, bonk in 2024, the end of 2024, was up 64,000%.
Bro,
So if you put in $100, bro, you made $64,000.
That's
like,
and it's a meme coin, is it not?
It is a meme coin, and this is where we
Yeah,
talk about
zero
that meme
utility.
space, bro. Like
Correct.
you go buy it, and it's 7082. And somebody's like, yo, I'm gonna put $100 in something. I don't even know what decimal point that is. Like my brain doesn't go that far. And you throw $100 in and let it sit for 2 years, and then you make $64,000. That's absurd. So the craziest thing in crypto is, again, from the meme space, and this is what draws a lot of people to crypto, is they look for that. They're like, man, I want to turn $100 into $1 million. And some people do it.
yeah.
It's like the gold rush from the old days, bro. Some people do it, but
But it's the same as winning the lottery, though. Come on.
it is. Yeah, don't. You got to be smart. You
Yeah,
never
this is
know
what
when one's
strategy,
going to do
guys,
that.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing in crypto today is bonk. You can look at the little image. Y'all go check it out. I'm not saying go run and put $1,000 in bonk and hope you make 2 million. I'm not saying that. But it is an example of what happens in the meme space, which ties into everything that we talked about today, from what are memes and how and when to take profits. And that is the craziest thing in crypto, y'all.
Hey, I got a side craziest thing in crypto real quick. A little
Talk to
extra
him.
thing, man. There was a new song dropped by Drake yesterday, I believe. What did I miss? It went viral. Everybody's listening to it. And if you listen to that song, he talks about crypto, which is just shows you where crypto is in our society. He says, I look at this shit like BTC. Could be down this week, then I'm up next week. Now, if you're not in the crypto, that didn't hit you in the heart like it hit all of us.
Hey.
Right.
Is Bitcoin. It could be down this week.
Yep.
Then I'm up next week. That is the philosophy of crypto. You may be
Amen.
down, then you're up. You may be down. And I want to tell you people out there, that is the philosophy of life. You may be down this week, and then you're up next week.
Shout out to Drizzy. Let's go.
I saw a commercial. I forgot what commercial it was, but it was giving an example of what the value of Bitcoin, right, or just cryptocurrency in general.
It was
So let's say you're
Coinbase.
trying to, okay, yeah. So
Yep.
if you were trying to buy a house, right, and let's say the house is like $1.5 million, whatever, and you can buy it with 15 Bitcoins, right? You can either spend 1.5 million, or you can go buy 15 Bitcoins. So let's say in 5 years, you decided to wait, and in 5 years that house is now $3 million, right, or $4 million, whatever. If you were using cash, you have to now come up with another $1.5-2 million to buy that house. If you were using Bitcoin,
And
you don't have to
moved
buy
with the
anything
same-
else.
Right.
Did it
Now
by itself.
your 15 Bitcoin is now going to be worth what that house value increase in. So that's the and I saw it. I was like, wow, this is like the basic
Yes.
understanding of what cryptocurrency is. It's money that can increase in value exponentially, so you can actually
that says.
spend more money without having to use more money.
Hey, crypto
Hey,
God.
to that point, they actually showed the image of the house like going up in the sky. It's a Coinbase account, and they've been showing it on a lot of the games, like in the halftime shows or whatever. And they literally are trying to boil it down and break it down for the most basic of educations, and it shows the house going out of way, like all through the sky, and it was hilarious. I'm saying like, and people are just completely missing it. I'm like, this is the most obvious play, but to your point, very
one
true.
piece that East makes it even more disparate, which we're forgetting, is that the actual money, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years from now,
the dollar
have the same buying power that it
exactly.
So not only making money in crypto, keeping that money in your bank account, you're actually losing money based on the inflation rate. So what you can purchase today for the same price, you can't purchase 10 years from now.
Today's prices, ain't that what all the cool kids say? Yesterday's prices ain't today's prices.
Listen,
And it's been that way for a minute. Ben, I know we got to wrap up. I'm sorry, bro. So where are we at in regards to? I know we had to wrap up this.
I was gonna say let's just take it around the horn for final thoughts. We've got about 4 minutes left, guys. So Vin Roxel, let's start with you, Vin Roxel. We'll go Roxel, Crypto Knight, Crypto God, Murph, Crypto Main.
Listen, I'm just happy to be here. When I'm around individuals making money, I got to figure out a way in. This is how I operate. I keep a team that's always making money. We're trying to not get what Bam call it, that one coin, Thanos out. Make sure that the money increases and doesn't decrease. Right. So at the end of the day, we're gonna have a good time.
Amen.
We're gonna watch the rug pulls. Again, I'm an old school equities guy. I've been making money in the stock market, but I'm starting to see the light and how money can be made here. So one advice I can give everybody here is, I think we touched on it earlier, almost a moment ago. Your money is stagnant in the bank, and it's actually losing value in the bank.
Yeah.
So no matter what you do, you've got to invest, and crypto needs to be part of that investment strategy.
Correct.
So that's where I'm at. Other than that, Vin Roxel, we out of here. Let's do it.
Crypto Knight.
Hey, we're just here to inform you, educate you, and inspire you. And I hope we gave you some information that you can learn from. And just tune in next week. We'll be here to give you more information. So looking out we really look for you to come next week. And we appreciate you showing up today.
Okay. So listen, and I always like to go back to the novice, because I was that person, right? So I understand that a lot of the stuff is over your head stuff because it was over my head. And a lot of the jokes you don't get because it's over your head, but you'll get it. It's something that you'll learn as you get into crypto. Guys, crypto is not going anywhere. I've missed a whole bunch of opportunities because I'm not from a place where they teach investing and trading and stuff like that. Our parents didn't pass it down to us. So now that we have this information, this knowledge, we're trying to spread it to people who are not typically in those spaces. So that's why we do this, man. So ask questions, engage with us, follow, share the channel. We're only here to help. This is not going anywhere. It's going to be the future. As you can tell right now, everybody's using digital money. Like I said the last time, homeless people now have cash apps. Like you can't. If I find cash laying around, I'm gonna just give it away because I have no use for it. Like it's coming to that point. So understand cryptocurrency is going to change the world, and the reason you know that is because all the government institutions are getting behind it. All the huge corporations are getting behind it. Don't get left behind. It's not going anywhere. Follow the trend. Follow the channel.
Amen.
Crypto Murph.
Well, good people. I think you've heard, the sentiments of crypto money movers. And I like to always say my favorite phrase, just get involved. The first thing, it starts with your learning, your education. We're here to help. We're here to, let you walk aside of us on our crypto journey. We're not judgmental. We don't care where you are in your crypto learning. Like, we're all going to move it and move together. So we're going to learn together. We're going to make some mistakes, but we're going to all be here to laugh it off and get back in the game, if you will. So like I always tell you guys, show me the charts. Baby, I'll tell you the news. Until next week, Crypto Murph. See y'all then.
Crypto Murph gonna try to make sure y'all don't get Thanoed out here in the streets.
Don't get in the game.
Crypto Main.
If you request that, TA, I will not be able to charge it. I can tell you now. My trading view don't pull that up. My trading view can't pull it up.
That's Ben's favorite baby, crypto right there.
It's moments like this where I ask myself, how have you been friends with them for 20 years? Look, man, Crypto Money Movers, we're trying to make a safe place on YouTube for beginners, for experts, for intermediate to learn crypto. The one thing I'll tell you, which I did, learn crypto doesn't mean you have to put money in crypto.
Right.
I was
Say
watching
that-
YouTube
say that part.
videos and learning stuff without putting $1 in. And when I put $1 in, I put $100 in because I'm a cheap ass motherfucker. So I mean, like, you can learn crypto without putting money in. That's what this channel's for.
Yeah.
Learn the terms, learn the charts, learn that crazy thing that Crypto Murph drew and all that, which I'm starting to understand and I get it, but you know, that's what this channel's for. It's a safe place to be funny, be silly. You're listening to a dude with a Batman mask on. What the hell, man? Like, that is what this channel is, man. We're for the people. And why I know it's working, one of my nephews, who's from the YN generation, is watching right now.
Hey, what's up, nephew?
What's up, Nep? What up, Nep?
So if
And
our
guys-
generation learns it and their generation learns it, oh, it's a win.
Oh, they
Facts.
smart. They don't want to work. They like, I'm going to get this crypto game. I ain't trying to be out here doing what
Hey,
y'all
and,
did.
and I will just say this, right? If you understand law, politics, the way governments work and have always worked, is if you think for a second that the big banks on planet Earth, they will let you keep just keeping your dollars in their bank. Meanwhile, in the background, they're going to be using cryptocurrency. They're going to have their own stable coins and they're going to utilize other infrastructures like American Express has been using Ripple XRP system since 2017 and none of y'all even knew it. I didn't even know it, right? Dude, don't be a victim and don't wait until 50% of people are now utilizing cryptocurrency. You want to be on the front end. That's what Crypto Money Movers is about
Amen.
getting in on the front end where less than 6% of the world's population are actually using it, but institutions are pushing it.
Preach,
Countries
preacher,
are starting to do it, right? Get in on the front end, you make your money, and you make the rest of your life your best of your life. And guys, we're going to wrap it up, but we got to let them know, man, we are Crypto Money Movers. And fellas, we ain't
Never
gonna
get
get
out.
baby.
Let's go, baby.
next week,
Until
baby.
next time, we'll
Until
catch
next
y'all.
week, stay blessed.